Hello, this is Gary the Coconut, and this is a game between MskiDane and FaDeEvan. And MskiDane is the red Terran player, and FaDeEvan is the blue Terran player. Now, there's a few things I need to tell you about this game before I get too into it. One is that this is a Grandmasters game, and this was sent in to me by FaDeEvan. And I don't normally cast Grandmasters, but when it's sent to me by the man himself, I am gonna cast it. So because of that, there will be no Bestofbronze this week because I really enjoyed this game and I wanted to cast it. It's that simple. So another thing I should bring up is that I also don't get to cast too many Terran versus Terran, and I myself play Zerg, and I kind of favor playing Zerg, so I tend to cast mostly Zerg games. So I thought, you know what, I need to cast more Protoss and Terran games. So here it is, and let's bring up that production tab, and they are just pretty in sync right here. I mean, it's tough to say which player is ahead. Clearly FaDeEvan is, just with that supply depot. No scouting is going on. Ooh, he's doing dancing, a little tap dance. And so I think I will go ahead and just right on cue, and that's what they need to do. So like I said, this is Grandmasters, and this is on the SEA server. So I think that is one of the smaller servers for StarCraft 2. And I do think it's funny, though, maybe someone can explain this to me, why you would supply depot, because both of them did this. I mean, if you look at the mini-map, this looks almost as if he is playing himself. I mean, you've got the gas on the far side, and you've got the same building placement. Maybe this is just the SEA server, how they do things. But I think it's peculiar how you put the supply depot here by the entrance, almost as if you're doing a wall off, and then continue to not wall off anything. So if anybody wants to verify what's going on here, I would appreciate it. Orbital commands are going down, and again, it's equal. If I didn't know that these were two players, I would say that he is playing himself. So, and doing scouting first, and the red Terran is going to be finding his opponent first. Did go out a little bit earlier, and I don't think it's going to do any good. And now see, this is, yeah, that Marine is going to fend off any scouting. Scouted a little bit too late. Yeah, same thing going on here. Boy, this is just, I think this is really interesting because I play Zerg. When you do Zerg versus Zerg, you know, it's not so mirror image like this, but again, it's just completely mirrored. Is grabbing that watchtower. I think that's a good idea, because since they are cross positions, any army is going to have to cross through that watchtower, and he will get vision of it. And it does look like they might be going a 1-1-1 build. We do have the tech lab on the way, so probably going to be starting to get marauders, or actually he's probably going to be researching that stim pack and guardian shield. So, and concussive shells, of course. Bunker being placed to finish the wall off there. Supply depot being made to finish the wall off here. We'll have to see if that does have any end result. And switching off that tech lab with the factory. That makes sense. Bam, going for blue flame. Very sneaky, because we have he's gonna have to drop those in because this wall off is completed. Oh, it's a very late wall off, so that's kind of surprising to me, but I guess it didn't matter. And he is scouting this. I guess this would be a good place for a drop. And also, I mean, this is just so mirrored. I haven't ever seen a game like this, to be honest with you, how everything's so, you know, exactly what one player is doing, the other player is doing. However, maybe we will see some variation here. Maybe this is a, oh, no. I was very hopeful, and I was let down. Of course, I think this is the 1-1-1 build where you get the barracks, factory, starport. I think that's a pretty standard opening for Terran players. And I am going to go ahead and speed this up. This is a long game. I'm going to have to split it into two parts. YouTube is being a little bit weird lately, and they are saying that when I cast long videos, they don't like it. So I'll go ahead and split it into two. And siege tanks. Now this is interesting. I want to talk about this right here. I saw a post on StarCraft Reddit where you can attack rocks without vision. So he could break down these rocks if he wanted to, be working on getting this expansion, which he probably does not. But you can attack rocks without vision. So let's say that you had a unit here. These rocks wouldn't be in vision, but you could still attack it. And there's a few maps where that can come into play. Of course, you've probably seen the posts, Husky's video on stacking tanks. Oh my goodness, that just blew my mind away. Oh, he just blew apart his... Oh, just blow up his buildings. You might see my video I made on nuking your own base. Kind of what he did, but to a much smaller scale. So he is moving out. This is FaDeEvan, if I remember correctly. Yes, it is. FaDeEvan is making our first move. But at the same time, there is a drop in his base with those blue flames. It is getting cleaned up with a tank, but these blue flames can do a lot of damage. And if we look at the loss tab, he has lost a lot of units, and those are probably mostly probes. But he does have vision of the high ground, so he can do this, and all his units, he sent off all those hill lanes to do that drop, but at the same time he is getting dropped himself. And these blue flames can clean up these marines pretty quickly, as you just saw, but they are in range of the tank. So a lot of damage is going on here, more than should be done. Did load up some of those marines because they weren't being very useful. And if I didn't know better, I'd say these blue flames, it looks like they're attacking their own starport. I don't think it does damage to itself, but that's what it looks like. He's pulling off the SCVs, and they are getting blasted by that siege tank, but it looks like he is going to be able to hold this off. And all his SCVs are pulled, and they are now all damaged. It would be a good idea for me, I think would be smart to go ahead and set one of these SCVs to auto repair. But he is cleaning up these buildings. He has lots of repair on his mind already, and he needs to, it'd be a good idea to split these up so that he wouldn't... Oh, they're... Wait. We have to go back and check that. Was he just attacking instead of repairing? Oh boy. Let's go back and see what was going on there. Alright. He is, instead of repairing, he is attacking. So, whoops. I doubt he meant to do that. And that was a pretty major mistake. That, I mean, I don't know if you can come back from that on this close of a matchup. I mean, the game is so mirrored. And now he decides to go ahead and is he attacking? No, he's repairing this time. Oh my goodness, that is such a huge mistake, attacking your own starport. I'm guarantee he didn't mean to do that. I mean, if he wanted to move it over here, he could just lift it off. So that was, I mean, that is a... we'll have to see if he's able to come back from that, because he is ahead in expansion, but the expansion isn't able to mine because of the harassment from FaDeEvan. And MskiDane, I think it could be MskiDane. I don't know. We'll just call him Dane from now on. Dane. He does have the defense. He could go ahead and lay down his expansion and begin mining there. But the attacking of his own starport here. This whole time I thought they were repairing, and I was wondering why it was taking so long to get out of the red. But that's because they were attacking. Ouch. I mean, that's one of those mistakes that you kind of just pray for your opponents to have. Mistakes like that. Not yourself, of course, just your opponents. And now these are not doing much. So, he is on the retreat. And those blue flame hellions are going to be able to do a cleaning up a little bit. But I'd say that this is pretty good. I'm trying to think of what would be a good reaction to this. Probably, I think if he had some Thors on auto repair, well, with SCVs following auto repair, I think since he already had the tech lab, I think getting a Thor would be a good idea instead of tanks. But you know what? He went ahead and rebuilt the starport and is building another factory. But again, he does have that expansion. FaDeEvan also has his own expansion. But it is... I don't know, is it... Let's check out the units tab. Oh, wow. See, he's so far ahead in the SCV count. That is huge. 6 mules. He just has the resources coming in. But for some reason, he's sticking with all those Hellions. And we'll have to see if that does anything for him. He is getting ready to get his third, which is I completely agree with. Again, how I like to think of it is expanding every 5 minutes, and so he's doing pretty... Oh, that was brilliant, dropping Hellions. So, and then, oh, just, it's all happening so fast, I can't say it quick enough. I gotta speed this up faster. So he's putting the Hellions right in the mineral line so that these siege tanks are attacking all the SCVs, and if you look at that, that was so many units killed. I don't know the... Okay, so if we look, that just was brutal, killing many SCVs with those siege tanks. Oh, didn't mean to pause it, meant to get rid of this. And he is coming back for another major attack. Get back up that production tab. You guys can keep an eye on that. And FaDeEvan is getting an expansion of his own. This one is completed. I don't know if he will fly it over, turn it into planetary, or turn it into an orbital command first. But this is a pretty sizable army making its way. But FaDeEvan has his own army of his own size that is on its way as well. But I do think the high ground is going to pay off here. Blast it before it even gets in. 2 tanks going down before they can even attack. And another shot doing a lot of damage. And the Vikings are... I thought he had more Vikings than that. Maybe they are stacked. Ah, there they are. But now this is Terran versus Terran. That is... If you took a screenshot of this, that would... sum it up pretty nicely. Scanning each other, not doing any good. There we go. Now he is going to be able to inch out. I don't know if I agree with unsieging all his tanks at the same time. I think it'd be better to unsiege the back tanks and bring them forward, or else you'll get blasted like that. That's what I was trying to say. But now he is a little bit more in range, so he is, and he's getting the Viking advantage, and this is very important. In case you don't know, the Vikings do provide the siege tanks with vision, and that's pretty much the whole point. So they can inch forward and get that vision, because they can shoot longer than their vision. So having the Viking advantage does pay off, and it looks like FaDeEvan is going to get it back from Dane. There it is. Oh, but hello, it's right back. There we go, and it's back and forth, but he is flying those a little close. I'm surprised that the Marines aren't in range there. And it's doing a lot of scans. And let's look at how this expansions are going. Dane is ahead on the mineral count. The orbital is on the way. Probably should turn that into a planetary, is what I think. Oh, bringing in the barracks. Barracks are good at scouting because it takes a long time for him to die. But, yeah. Alright, let's see. Let's look at that army tab. I don't know. Dane is doing pretty good. I don't know how FaDeEvan is going to be able to come back from this.
Base is under attack.
Yeah, I'll say. So this is pretty huge lead here by Dane. And it is being reinforced. He already is making his advances. He's past the middle of the map. But FaDeEvan, and tanks going down all over the place. And blasting each other. Oh, death. Oh. Red goes down. Blowing it way over here. So, while this is going on, the barracks is making an invasion of its own, but it is on fire. So it will be going down shortly unless he drops in a mule to repair it. And it looks like they are pretty much sticking to their plan. And no upgrades. Well, that is pretty surprising since he does have a lot of Marines. And there are no upgrades on both sides. I think a lot of Terrans do mistake in not getting upgrades for their mech. It's very easy to just worry about the bio. But in this case, no upgrades at all. That's very surprising to be 20 minutes into a game without any upgrades. And there is a small army over here, and I think that's a good idea. I like this a lot because he is leaving an army here to deal in case he gets dropped. He would be able to clean that up quickly with these blue flame Hellions, and they are not that expensive. He has plenty of blue flames up here to deal with Marines if it need be. But these Vikings, that has got to be menacing. I don't know why he doesn't have any Marines up here to deal with this. A Marine would be very helpful. I do like the offensive, sensor tower. Nice touch. That is just a slap in your opponent's face, but we have some shenanigans going on the side. because of the scouting Vikings, he is hesitating to bring this up so that his army looks smaller than it actually is, so that it'll bring FaDeEvan to attack, and then he will surprise him with, oh, guess what? I do have 6 tanks hiding in the back. But these Vikings, I think it'd be a good idea, since there is no more Vikings on the field, he could take those into a mineral line and drop them down. I don't know why these rocks are getting taken down, and it's not even being scouted, because he is going to go up and hit this expansion. Those Vikings have landed, and that is pretty major because his, see, this is what I was saying. He was doing a baiting where he says, oh, I don't have an army, but he actually does. All those Vikings fly in. These siege tanks are here getting sieged. But I don't think the baiting tactic worked, as it did split his army, and FaDeEvan was able to just mow it over. Now all his units are out of position, but this army is very weakened, and there's no medevacs or anything. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to bring in those tanks of Vikings and land the Vikings and do some damage. And he's bringing it in, but again, and there's those Thor. It'd be nice if he had some repairing units. So he is doing an interesting strategy. I like it, but it's not working out for him, where he has his army split up so that preventing the counterattack, preventing the drops. But now it did backfire, and he is bringing in his army. It'd be a good idea, I think, to bring these in and drop them, because this army is so weakened that even though his several Vikings would die, I think those Vikings would be able to clean this up. And the siege tanks are going down, or I'm sorry, they are making this expansion go down. So it is base against base. He did go ahead and land those Vikings, but he didn't do it all at once. He split them up, and that's going to not be good. They probably will all go down. See, I wish he had done that. I wish he had landed them all at the same time and done it a lot sooner. I think it would have gone a lot better. But luckily, he does have all those mules to bring it up. And at the same time, the orbital does go down. So Dane, I would say, is in the lead currently. Even though his army is slightly smaller, he is an expansion ahead. So that is pretty major. And the main is almost mined out. It is completely mined out here in Dane's court. So FaDeEvan is in a hard position. He is doing some long range mining. Getting a little tongue-tied here. Is throwing back that orbital coming right from the main. That's a good choice. He doesn't need it anymore over there. Just to clean up these 20 minerals, not worth it. But I do like that he is long-range mining. This expansion is saturated, so any more SCVs here are just dead weight. So it's a good idea to have some long-range mining, because it's only going to help. If he did all have those at his natural, it wouldn't be doing any good. So I do think that is definitely Grandmaster play with that call. And now FaDeEvan, even though he's a base behind, has quite the army, and there are a lot of units over here, but we will see if he's able to deal with that with this pretty big army. Scouting Hellion over there, that's a good idea. In case any SCV runs up, it'll die quickly. He is going in for a drop, and I think this is brilliant. Let's see if it does any good. Drop right in there. There is no vision of this smoked area, but he is just going in. And this is going to do a lot of good. What he needs to do is just pull some, not many units, just a little bit. But this is just going unchecked. And this is going to do a lot of good. Getting rid of those, oh yeah, brilliant, oh yeah. Coming in from the low ground, don't think that's going to do anything other than trap the army in his base. I don't know if that's what he wants to do. All these production facilities going down, that will give FaDeEvan the advantage. Oh, so much advantage. Yep, these siege tanks, I think that it would be bad to siege them up, because that would be time wasted when they could just go in and clean that up. But that was so many production facilities going down. I think that drop was well worth it. Even though he did lose a lot, he still has a little bit of a bio ball. Now you'll notice that the army size is pretty even, and a whole lot of supply depots. Oh, and at the same time, this expansion getting lifted off and all those workers going down. If you look at the workers' kill count now, it's very in favor of FaDeEvan. And it looks like he is stimmed to near death. That is scary. If you do drugs till you die. Now that'll easily be cleaned off by here from Dane. Those units are already pretty much dead. He already has the army back of his own because what set him back was all those production facilities going down. He does need to rebuild those as soon as he can, but the minerals are scarce. He is getting smoked out. He is not mining very well. And FaDeEvan on his own is over here. He's not mining this gas, but he's got all gas problems over here, if you know what I mean. He is doing very... Oh, see, it's better to long-range mine from this gas and this gas instead of this one. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. No need to be cynical over here. Alright, and he is getting his another expansion, so it looks like FaDeEvan, even though he was behind very drastically, he is pulling ahead into the lead. This might be quite the comeback. However, this is a huge dropout. It was scouted by these medevacs. Those medevacs are just standing over here. They're not going to be doing anything. But at the same time, these siege tanks aren't going to be doing anything either because there's nothing over here they can hit. And instead they're going to get cornered and cleaned up, and that is going to push FaDeEvan even more in the lead pretty drastically. That was a major loss. And these Vikings, they could fly in right here, bam, and drop down, and that would be devastating. But for some reason, they just do not have complete vision of the map like I do, so they're not able to make those tough judgment calls. Oh, and he is flying out an orbital, trying to get another expansion, which is what he needs to do. He has barely any workers mining at all. See, this is what I was talking about when long-range mining would be beneficial, because this is doing no good. But he probably can't worry about that because everything he loves and owns is dying, except for his Vikings, which can only be touched by these two Marines. But those Marines are chanced, and they will just sit there and hack away at it. So this is, I think that we did see FaDeEvan make a comeback. Maybe Dane can do the same. If he just has some good timing and good placement, he can get that expansion up, but he's kind of doing a dance back and forth. This is Orbital Command. I don't know if you're looking at the mini-map, but he is very unsure about this. And now is that awkward moment when I realize that Orbital Commands can patrol. I just learned that. You learn something new every day. These Vikings are being pesky and very bold, but this Marine is going to clean that up for him. He's saying, don't worry guys, I got this. Even stimming to do the job. But these are overworking themselves. They are going to go into harm's way. A lot of long-range mining with the gold. That's pretty clever. He should just get an expansion in there, which he is doing. And over here, Dane is not mining much of anything. He did get this base very saturated. He just pulled in all those SCVs that were stacked up here. He finally got them over there. And throwing down all those mules. But it might be too late. Look at all those. Oh, wow. Look at all those SCVs. Hellions making a counterattack. Just envision. Don't worry. It's cool. Don't worry. It's going to work out. Nope. It didn't work out. That is supported. And this is good. Sniping some medevacs. That's very handy. Very good. And this is a nice wall of tanks. Wow. Taking command of the center and getting that high yield. This is going to pay off in the end. I mean, look at this. We have such a huge difference in supply. I think just good judgment calls by FaDeEvan this entire game. He has been doing everything he needs to do. And he almost has mined out 2 bases. These will go down again. He's good at doing the long-range mining, and now would be that time to do it. When you have this high yield and you have this base, it looks pretty oversaturated as well. He could go ahead and grab another expansion. Let's see, how is Dane going to come back from this? Because he has to. He doesn't have a choice, but he is... There we go. He is mining, and he is coming back. But that supply count, I don't think he can come back from that supply count. I'm really surprised to not see more Marines. I mean, I think it would... Yeah, there he goes. That's a power move. I also think it'd be a good idea to turn this into a planetary. He has plenty of orbitals. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Reading my mind, or maybe I was reading his. Alright, so while I have a second, I'm going to tell you guys that my Minecraft series is almost finished. I just have a few more. I made those all at once and just upload them once a week. And in the like manner, this guy is going to do a lot of good. And just similar, I have made a Portal series. I played through Portal 2, and I'm just going to upload them once in a while. And here we go. Let's look at this attack. Oh, oh, oh. Killing everything. That is a lot of tanks, but even the unsieged tanks, they don't even need to worry about it because the Bioball is doing all the work, taking all the damage, cleaning this up, and this is going to be pretty quick, I imagine, because all this army has to do is move in now. That was gorgeous. So now he is moving in, and all he's going to have to worry about are those planetary fortresses. Now that was interesting, passing over the Hellion. Didn't even worry about it. Dane is throwing out the GG and left the game. So that was a lot of back and forth. FaDeEvan making a good comeback. That was pretty exciting. I don't get to watch too many TV turn versus turn games. So thank you to FaDeEvan for sending me that again. I love when you guys send me replays. I love watching them, even if I don't get to cast them. So let's look at that APM. That was not it. Nope, that wasn't it either. There we go. Oh, ouch. That gives my fingers blisters. I should start showing the APM at the end of all my casts so you guys can compare. Because those Bronze League matches are just so adorable when they have 20 APM. Alright, well, this is Gary the Coconut, and I hope you liked this game as much as I did. And if you want to send me a game of your own, send it to bestofbronze@gmail.com. And once again, this is Gary the Coconut, and that's it. At the same time, doing an attack over here. He is just steamrolling with these banglings. Not into Thors, not into Thors. Die, die, die. I need your fiery parts. Give me your fiery parts. Die, die, die. I'm on fire, but it doesn't matter.